Welcome to the journey. I'm host Dan Kinjorski here at Pathfinder Counseling Group. Thank you, Pathfinder Counseling Group. And with me is Ashley Brock. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Ashley Brock.
Yeah.
And Ashley is a counselor with us at Pathfinder Counseling Group here in Clarksville, Tennessee, at 101 Hatcher Lane, Suite D. And Ashley, you're fairly new in the field.
Yes.
You graduated. Where did you graduate from?
So I graduated from Lindsey Wilson, and it's been a little over a year now with my mental health counseling degree.
So Lindsey Wilson College or University
hmm
out of Kentucky?
It's in Kentucky, yeah.
What part of Kentucky?
I want to say it's Elizabeth, Kentucky. It's in the middle of nowhere. So I did everything virtual because they have a counseling program that is 100% virtual. So it's really nice.
I heard it's a good counseling
It
program.
is, yes.
I heard
I
that.
enjoyed it.
And so you come to us from an internship that I met you at,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And you were interning there, and then you were looking for a place to land and to earn some counseling hours
Yes.
for licensure. And you are a postgraduate pre-licensed
Yes.
counselor here at Pathfinder Media Group, or I'm sorry, Pathfinder Counseling Group. And so you have done a wonderful job here,
Thank you.
Ashley. I really appreciate the work that you put into your clients and into yourself in terms of making yourself available
Yes.
and helping clients through their issues. Now, their challenges, I should say. What you see, what is the makeup of your clientele, if you will?
So I have a lot of different ranges of ages. So I have anywhere from 12-year-old to 65. So I really enjoy seeing anyone. I do really enjoy working with middle schoolers and then young adults, just trying to help them through all the different changes and emotions. And it can be a really hard time. I know for myself, middle school, high school was really difficult. So just having that extra support, and sometimes it's really hard to figure out how to work through those emotions, and having somebody who gives you that space where there's no judgment is really helpful.
Right. I know for a fact, based on comments I've received from parents, that you do wonderful with the adolescents.
Mm-hmm.
And one in particular said to me that life has just turned around and to the positive. And so I just want to, as the director of the counseling group here, the owner, and having you work for us, I just want to say thank you for that work that you're doing. And I know your veterans that you are seeing are doing wonderful.
Thank you.
Each time I see one, they say, yeah, she's doing wonderful. And you're really helping them through their challenges.
Thank you. So I actually have a background. So I graduated from Austin Peay with my social work degree. So I have a lot of background with working with families and children. And so we did a lot of collective work. So when I work with children, adolescents, my main goal is to make it a collective to where the parents feel heard, the children feel heard, and we work together.
Right.
Yes, collaborate. That's the word.
Yeah. So both the child and the parent
Because that's what it takes.
have a voice, and that you're able to collaboratively work with each of them.
Sometimes it just takes hearing it from a different perspective. And so with children, a lot of times I will come up with all kinds of crazy things just to see what works. And even with coping skills, even for my adults, I give options. And so one of the things I always say is if you don't like it or if it doesn't work, don't do it.
Right.
And then we'll come up and we'll figure out what works, because everyone is so different. And some things that work for some people don't work for other people. So I don't want to keep going on the same path if we need to switch, right? Pathfinder, different paths. So
I really enjoy what you just said because you're focused on the need of the client.
of the individual.
And you're not focused on, well, this is, I'm the counselor, I'm going to do it my way.
Nope.
But you're focused on the individual.
Yes.
And each individual, you tend to work with each client as an individual versus what I mean by that is you
Individualized care is
yes.
what I try to do.
Thank you.
That's my biggest focus is what is going to work best for this individual. So
Right.
I take their point of view, right? What kind of things do you like to do? What kind of coping skills have you tried that you don't like? Because why would we try something again that you don't like, right? Or has it worked? Obviously, sometimes we try things again because maybe we didn't really put all of our effort into it. So sometimes those things happen. But I always tell people all the time, I'm not a journaler, right? So I'm like,
You don't
not
journal.
for me.
Right. You don't.
Right. And I know that, right? So I always ask people, is there anything that you're just like, no. And so also taking people's perspective and listening to them as to what they're willing to do sometimes or what they have time for. Because everyone is really busy. So I try to fit things into one of my thing is what is it called? A decompression, right? So sometimes when people get home, they need to decompress for a few minutes, right? Why don't you try it for 5 minutes, right? So we always start really slow with time. And then what do you know? 2 months from now, you're doing it for 20 minutes, right? So individualized care, I think, is one thing that I really hone in on, which is important. So.
Right. What have you learned about yourself? Well, I'm going to ask you a question two different ways. What have you learned about yourself in terms from working here at Pathfinder?
I would say that I learned a lot about, I would say probably what I'm capable of when it comes to certain things because I'm like, oh, I don't know that I could really help somebody going through this or someone going through this. And oh, this is now something that I really want to work with, right? I would say probably veterans would be probably the biggest thing because I wouldn't say I was hesitant, but I want to make sure that I can help someone the best to my ability. Right. And so I think my different take on how to help people has really shown that I can really help veterans. Just be someone to listen to them and kind of out of the box kind of thinking sometimes.
Yes, Dan, I'll see a veteran. And then
Yes.
all of a sudden you got a handful of
Yes.
veterans. But I haven't heard any complaints.
Yes.
I
And
have.
I love working with them. And I really think it's something that I really want to educate myself on more. I'm trying to read different things and really help put more thought and training into that.
Right. And that's what I appreciate about you. You prepare for each client. You do your reading.
Yes.
You read to prepare for
I
your
do a lot of research
research.
into figuring out different things. And I also, you have supervisors and we have those things like that. I think it's important as a person too, and I think I realize this about myself too, is to use all of the resources that we have. That's the most important thing. I am a newer counselor, and to constantly educate yourself, ask the questions, ask advice, those types of things are what is going to make you a better counselor.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what you're doing. And you are improving your skill set. You're doing wonderful. And
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. I appreciate what you bring to Pathfinder Counseling Group. And I always look forward to, in our case consult meeting, I always look forward to what you have to say because you come from you bring in a different aspect, or because your dad, was your father in the military?
No, so my grandfather was.
Okay.
And my father, well, he's been in the food service business forever. He did actually go to Iraq for a couple years with contracting and for the food service.
Right.
So he was over there around after 9/11 in Iraq and all that. So
Right. I've met him once. And I meant to ask him what year he was there. I was there. I was wondering if he was there about the same time. Next time I see him, I'll ask him where he was and when he was there. So
I don't even remember. I know I was in high school. That was a long time ago.
So you went to Austin Peay for social work, and then you went to Lindsey Wilson for your Master of Arts in Clinical Mental Health Counseling. All right, just to emphasize that for a second. And then I asked what you learned about yourself. What do you like about Pathfinder Counseling Group?
I really like a couple of things about Pathfinder Counseling. We have a lot of diverse counselors, right? So we all have really different specialties. And I think that that's just amazing to have a place that offers that. And then it really feels like a family, right? So it really feels like we have meetings and everyone's giving hugs and talking. And it just feels like a very comfortable space to be. And anytime I feel like I need anything, admin's always helpful if we need something. And I feel like you can feel how much Pathfinder just as a whole cares about people.
Mhm.
And so I really enjoy that. And it's one of those cliche things of doesn't feel like a job if you love it, right? But that's what it feels like. So I guess it's a cliche for a reason or whatever, corny thing, whatever. But I truly believe that.
It's my plastic
Yeah.
plant there that's just troubling you.
But I feel like we really try to, when somebody, even on our case consult, right? If somebody has something that we're talking about, everybody puts an effort, right?
Mhm.
It feels like a group effort. It's not just like some people don't really care. No, everybody has something to say in giving advice. And I feel like that's important, again, because it just shows how much everybody cares.
Right.
So,
Well, here we tried. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay.
We
I move
tried.
my head a lot.
We try to. My whole goal at Pathfinder Counseling Group is to not only take care of the client, but also take care of the clinician.
And you can feel that. You really can. And you feel valued, you feel heard, and it's a newer business. So there's things that we're all figuring out, but it feels like we're a part of that,
Mhm.
right? So it's not like, oh, we're just going to do this and have fun figuring it out. It's not like that. It's a very collective way to do things, which I think is important because then everybody feels like they're contributing some way.
Right. And I'm glad you said have fun. You use that in a different context, but we do have fun here.
We do,
Yeah.
yes.
I think it's important that we don't take ourselves too
Yeah.
seriously that we forget to have fun.
Right. Laughing is important, and I feel
Right.
like we do a lot of that.
Yeah. We're going to be putting together we're going to do we're going to replicate some old
I saw one of
commercials.
those and I thought that was funny.
We're just going to have fun. I
Right.
mean, there's a time and place for actual training on video.
Oh, of course.
And we're going to do that. But there's also, I want the community to know that here at Pathfinder Counseling Group, that we're not only here for you in the community, but we're also taking care of one another in terms of we enjoy what we're doing. We're going to
Right.
have fun doing it. And we actually like what we do, right?
Oh, we love it. Let me first say that.
And so you bring laughter too, as well.
I like to laugh.
And so it's great having you with us. So, what modalities have you learned to use or that you use that you like in particular? And I know you do a lot of de-stressing techniques or
Mhm.
things like that, but share with us some of the things that you've used with your clients.
So I use a lot of the cognitive behavioral therapy is one of the biggest things because there's just a lot of coping in that. I use a lot of that as my main modality
Right.
just because, like I said, there's a lot of things that go with that, like coping and just listening to the people. I would say one of the main things that I do is each session range where we're at. So I say, how are you feeling today? What are we wanting to do? And so that also individualizes it too, because sometimes people come in and they're feeling great. So we can talk about maybe some things that we're needing to process through, or we're needing to learn some different skills.
Mhm.
Sometimes people come in and they had a really hard week
Mhm.
and all they really want to do is talk about it,
Right.
process it. I do a lot of just listening. Sometimes people just really need to hear things out loud.
Mhm.
They need to process through, they need to vent, those types of things. So my main kind of thing is just supporting in that way. Obviously, I offer some things here and there of support and coping and helping them figure out how to work through that.
Mhm.
We'll process through something, right? But then we'll take time to decompress. So one of my things is I like to we'll do breathing techniques, or I have like kinetic sand, right?
Mm.
And so normally when I pull it out, just trust me.
Kinetic sand.
Yes. So, and this is with adults, right? I do it with children too, obviously, but I will take it out. We'll do about 10-15 minutes. I'll put some music on and they'll just run through the kinetic sand through their hands. And so what that is allowing you to do is allowing you to decompress and have quiet time. And some adults don't have time for that. And especially if we're processing through something very heavy, it gives you time just to relax. Obviously, I have different fidgets, I have art, things that we can do, but sometimes people don't realize how much just taking a few minutes can be really helpful.
Right. Take a few minutes to relax.
Yes.
And to relax your body. You take them. I think I've read in some of your notes that you've used some body relaxation techniques.
Yep. Muscle relaxation,
Right.
different things like that. And sometimes we can just sit in silence.
Wow. So you use silence a lot?
I do. So sometimes if people are just having a really hard day and they just want to sit there, we'll just sit there. Sometimes I'll sit at my desk and they'll just sit there and take some deep breaths and just relax. Because therapy is more than just about talking. It's about creating the safe space, whatever that is for you.
Wow.
And that looks different every day, right? Come in feeling great, come in feeling terrible. And because that's a part of life, right? Sometimes we have good days, sometimes we have bad days. And I never want people to leave therapy feeling worse than they did before.
Right.
Because therapy is not always, sometimes it can be hard talking about those things. Obviously, their traumas and things like that. And so I want to create that space for them to feel some type of relaxation before they leave.
I appreciate that. While I'm listening to you, I'm doing another thing, so forgive me for that.
Oh, no, you're fine.
So I had to send someone out there a text. You're making too much noise. So anyway, it's good to have you with us, Ashley.
Thank you.
And I thank you for being part of the team.
Of course.
What if you had one message to share with the community, what would that be about yourself as a counselor and about Pathfinder Counseling?
So I would say, as a counselor myself, my biggest thing is to help people feel supported. And I think there's a misconception sometimes with therapy that you have to have something wrong with you or have gone through something. And sometimes you just need support. Sometimes maybe we don't have social support. We're not really taught coping skills. We're not taught how to work through things sometimes. And that's what I want to do. No matter who it is, what you're going through, my goal is to support. About Pathfinder is this is a place where you're going to feel at home. You're going to feel like you have supports, not just from your therapist, but from the whole Pathfinder group.
Right. Well, this is your host, Dan Kinjorski at Pathfinder Counseling Group. And thank you for joining the Journey podcast. And we'll see you next week.